Hi folks, William Stillman, Psychic Medium. We're back in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Today is Monday, June 12th, 2023. I am joined once again by Jaffa Kaufman.
Hello.
Of spiritedevents.jaffa.com. As always and as before, I have no idea where we'll be going today or what we'll be doing, but I know that Jaffa has some tricks up her sleeve and that she has scouted out 3 locations for us. Mm-hmm. And it'll be interesting to see what we get from today. So once again, thank you.
My pleasure. I'm excited as always
I'm
to
excited
show you.
too. We'll see what we get. What do you want to show us the way?
Yes. If we bring this little step stool, because you're going to see it's a little tricky, so please be safe. I'll put this on the bottom, and I think it helps. And it's right through the pantry, guys, and then there's an opening on the floor. So if you want to follow me, it's right through here.
Hang on. This is quite something. I have to ask a personal question.
Yes.
Is there an older female connected to you or your partner that has passed on who was very influential? Very supportive and very influential. I want to call her Grandma.
She was called Grandma because she has, great nephews and nieces, but Anthony's mom.
That's your partner.
My partner's mom.
His mother. Okay.
And my mom is always
passed on. Is there a cancer connection
Yep.
to her as well? Forgive me, I'm kind of going off script here, and I don't mean to blindside you, but I'm picking up this very warm, loving, maternal energy who is enormously supportive of not only your union with her son, but also the business. She's showing me the number 8. I don't know what the significance of that is in terms of 8 years, for example.
We nothing with number 8, but his mom.
No. I need to know if there's anything at all connected to the number 8.
Is August number 8?
Yeah, but I would be shown the name word August, but I'm being shown the number
Nothing
8.
that I can
I don't
think of
know.
right now.
Thank you. That's a good answer. So I don't know if 8 is maybe connected to the 8th day of a month, for example. If the 8 is prominent or significant in an address. So think about it, would you please?
Our address has an 8 in it.
Yeah, and I'm also being shown a place where there is a small pond that looks very peaceful. There might be geese or swans connected to it, and this is connected to her somehow. So I don't know if there's anything coming to mind about that.
No, not that I can think of right
a place
now.
where she would have enjoyed visiting, or it's almost like Longwood Gardens. That's what I'm being shown. So I don't know how that connects to her, or if that's something you could find out while we're doing all this other stuff. But
Sure, nothing. We've been together 26 years, so I went through everything with his mom.
Yeah.
And his mom was a stroke. My mom was cancer.
And your mom's deceased also?
My mom is also deceased,
Okay.
and she's been 36 years, she's always with me.
Yeah, there's a very strong, as I said, very strong and very supportive maternal influence.
She always was.
Yeah. And someone speaks another language.
Well,
also.
my mom,
Your mom did. Thank you.
was Cuban, my father was...
Thank you, okay. And there's a dog with one of these women also, so it's a smaller dog.
Well, that would be his mother.
His mother. So I feel like, I guess I'm getting the 2 mothers coming in.
You probably
together.
are, because they were both very strong.
And I'm assuming they knew each other.
They didn't.
Well, they know each other.
Unfortunately.
They know each other now.
Oh,
I want to tell
I would
you
think.
that. And there's also a reference to the month of May as being significant, Amando, as well. So I don't know if there's an event, an anniversary, or
I believe May is
birthday
when
connected
Anthony's
to
mom
May.
passed.
That's when she passed. Okay. Alrighty. There's a scent. So your mother has a cooking aroma associated with her, and then his mother has sort of almost like a potpourri type of scent, or an aroma, a perfume type of scent. It almost smells like a flowery lavender type of aroma. I don't know if that would make any sense.
That would be more Anthony's mom. She really
Yeah, that's what I
liked-
needed to know. So your mom is the cooking scent,
Yeah.
and then his mom is more of the perfumey type of feminine lavender type of scent, like a sachet or a potpourri or something. Thank you. I'll take that.
Gina
Thank you.
Tay.
Yeah, perfect. Well, these gals are united.
Oh,
I
I'm
wanna
so
tell you,
glad to hear that,
and,
because
there is
we
a
never
small
met.
dog with one of them.
It's a
And-
Chihuahua.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was seeing
his
actually.
name was Taco. And
Yep. And they are just very, very loving and very supportive. Yep, very supportive. Someone's due for a physical, however, or someone's overdue for a physical, or has been procrastinating a physical because there is a family history of heart-related issues that just need to be checked up on.
that would be Anthony.
Okay, all right. So just FYI. And,
Yeah,
and
we've
forgive
started
me,
it.
Forgive me
No.
for going off script, but that's what I'm picking.
I've pushed him into, because I'm the opposite. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to go right away. He doesn't. Like his mom was.
Okay, so maybe she's the one who's kind of nudging me to tell you, just to
Um,
reinforce that with
but
him.
he would
I'm
be
also
the one-
supposed to say happy birthday, so I don't know who has the birthday.
22nd is Anthony's.
Thank you. Then I'm supposed to say happy birthday.
Oh, I will.
from
Thank you.
From his mom. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
I'm so glad to hear about the two of them, because we
Yes.
always say it. We know that they would have loved,
Yes.
really
They-
liked
they-
each
They
other.
know each other now. Yes.
So
I have to ask if
Please.
which one of these gals, and forgive me, folks, I'm going way off script here,
Oh, no.
but it's very spontaneous. I have to ask if one of these gals was a little controlling, because I'm hearing Frank Sinatra singing "I Did It My Way."
that would be Anthony's mom.
At his mom, okay.
Yep.
So,
It was a certain
she,
way.
Yep, she has everything organized, and don't mess with her system.
Nope.
And it's all.
I once
yeah,
rearranged
yeah.
her living room,
No,
and
that
I
was a-
heard it
that
for
was a
5
big
years.
mistake, yeah.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if their presence has occasional influence here, and if you don't find things like, because she has a little OCD, maybe his mom, and I wouldn't be surprised if you maybe find things that are kind of straightened where they had been
All the time.
askew. I think that's his mom's influence. Yeah.
All the time. Well, the pantry idea came from before his mom passed, from his mom and his sister. So here is where we'll be like, wait a minute, there was a hole there before.
Yeah.
So that's because this really came from Don and his sister had a basement that every time we'd visit, I could pick things because they canned everything.
Yeah.
So I bet you I would hope they really like the pantry, or she really likes
I'm
the
sure.
pantry.
I'm sure.
Yes. Because they were a big influence in that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for allowing me to do that.
Oh, please! That made my day that that they are together and they would like each other because. So this is the not pretty part of the store.
That's okay.
And the basement hole is right there.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, please! You're welcome.
And we'll just that one and so on. But maybe we can all just kind of stand about here, or Bruce, maybe you could come over here next to me since you're the expert and our historian. So that explained the female energy I was picking up on, Amando.
I'm sorry.
I said that explained the female energy that I was picking up on. But I'm feeling a heaviness, Bruce, connected to the basement area. And this is not pleasant, but I'm being shown the word death connected to that space. Would that make sense to you? Okay.
Yes.
I have to ask if, so I'm being shown the word hospital. I have to ask if, you'll see me tracing words in the air that I see. I have to ask then if this was part of a place where men who were wounded or were dying would have been brought.
Yes.
And emphasis on the word dying. It's not pleasant. I'm hearing, and I'm wondering if you hear this too, Amando, and at any time, I'm hearing sort of moaning, people who are in pain, very much in pain. Do you know anything about that? Would that be
I sure
in keeping.
do.
So,
Yes,
this is a morgue. I'm being shown the word morgue. So there are physical bodies of people who are deceased that were temporarily here. Is that correct?
You're spot on.
Thank you. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We've always thought that it's a whistling, and then when we got the shop, that we thought it was, it's just the wind going through. But it's completely enclosed,
Right.
except for an opening that was covered up, that I guess went through to the square.
I just want to caution you not to
Okay.
reveal too
But
much.
we've always thought it was like a whistling, and there's no way for air to go down there. I rarely go down there to
Well,
change
I
the
don't blame
filter
you.
because it really is heavy.
Yeah.
It's the only way I can explain it.
Yes. So what I would like to do before I leave, and people who have watched my videos before know, I'm a very firm proponent of saying that I don't believe that there are any ghosts in Gettysburg. I don't believe that this far on that there are still human souls that are here. I think at this point everyone has figured out how to move on. What I do believe, however, is that it is possible for there to be emotional imprints on certain environments in this area, and this is all, and you'll have to forgive my ignorance, as people who watch my videos know, I have no background in Civil War history beyond Gone with the Wind, and it doesn't interest me personally. So I'm going into this with a lot of benign ignorance, but I understand that there's a lot of quartz in the area, which may also be helpful in retaining the energy. And this was all compacted in a 72-hour period, roughly.
3 days,
right?
yeah.
72 hours. And so if you think about the extreme emotions during that period of time, the acute anxiety, even the hate that might be felt, I think that can't help but to get impressed in the environment. And I think that periodically, when the conditions are right, or depending upon the receptive nature of the individual, some of that gets released into the atmosphere, almost like a little video snippet that gets replayed. And I think that's what people think they're seeing as ghosts. That's my theory.
Want me to react to that?
Yeah, if you wish.
I truly believe that as I do my tours, I get these messages, and those messages allow me to tell the story that these people want me to tell, because I've got messages one right after another coming through to me, and it's just like, tell my story.
You're channeling, yeah. But that doesn't mean that they're earthbound, right? And so part of my prep today, driving here, was please allow me to represent with accuracy and authenticity the individuals connected to the environments in which I will be spending time today.
Makes sense,
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Wow.
See if I can get anything more connected to that space. Was there a general that was wounded or killed connected to this space? Because I'm being shown the word general. I'm asking.
To my knowledge, there was no general that was killed or brought here and died in this building.
Okay.
Perhaps over at the Eagle Hotel next door.
There's a place next door where there would have been a general. Okay. Is that through the wall? Does it connect actually?
We've been told that this was the barber shop or something to the Eagle Hotel, but that they were connected. That's why the swoop is so
I can
connected.
tell you who lived here, but I won't unless you want me to.
No, I don't want you to,
Okay.
please. So the place where the general would have been, is through the wall connected to this space. Is that correct? Or would have been?
Possibly.
And then I also wanted to ask if, before you got here, I was wondering if this had been a residence at one time.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And would it have been a residence then?
Yes.
Interesting. I'm also smelling cows.
Yeah,
I'm smelling manure, so I don't know if the cows were nearby.
I will answer that after, or whenever you want me
You
to.
can answer it now.
Okay.
Just want to know if they were in the vicinity.
Right across the street,
Mm-hmm.
the Colbeans, who lived right across,
Yeah.
had.
I just
a
need to
cow.
know if there were cows. Thank
There
you.
was a
That's all I
cow.
need to know. Perfect.
And there's a story with that, but
Okay, yeah,
I'll
thank
wait.
you. You're doing great, thank you. I know you're itching as a historian. You're probably itching to tell me a lot
I
more.
love this. This is great.
It's fascinating to me too.
No, we're good.
I never know what to expect. Oh, I also want to ask, and Amando, I'm pronouncing your name.
Amado.
Forgive me. I'm seeing that there have been either photographs or videos taken in this space in which there are spheres of energy, or what would be commonly called orbs. And are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the pantry.
Thank you. Okay.
As a matter of fact, we.
I don't want you to reveal too much information,
Okay.
please, but I'm seeing some that are actually quite large, like about the size of a basketball.
Yep.
Thank you.
By us, by customers.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Um,
Yeah. But even though there is death and dying associated with the cellar, and there's a heaviness there, I'm connecting that to what happened then. And it was very unpleasant. But I don't feel that sensation permeating the entire environment. So I think it's, in my opinion, it's compartmentalized to that space. Up here, I feel a very warm, loving, supportive, maternal, feminine energy. That might be the two mothers that I was picking up on, or it might be a female energy connected to this floor that would be going back in time. I'm actually seeing a woman with something on her head, like a bonnet of some sort or something like that, if that would make sense. Is there a Sarah, to your knowledge,
That lived here,
or connected to this space, to your knowledge?
I would definitely say connected.
Connected to this space, there's a Sarah.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
would
with that?
definitely
That's
say
with an H on the end.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
can-
Yeah. And who was Sarah connected to this space?
Sarah Broadhead.
Yeah. Who was she, please?
She was a neighbor who lived right down the street.
Right here. And what was her connection to this environment?
During those days and even the aftermath, I can only imagine that.
Oh, she was helping to. She was serving in a pseudo nurse capacity or help giver, because
very
she's
good.
running interference. I'm seeing her running back and forth. She was very nervous, little gal. She's very nervous, very agitated energy. I'm assuming everyone would have been, but she's boiling water
Sure.
for some reason. Probably for antiseptic reasons, I'm assuming. But I'm seeing her just.
Can you see what she looks like?
Smaller statured, I think. Nothing other than what looks like a bonnet and just kind of
Okay.
fidgety,
Okay.
very sort of
Just
anxious,
curious.
very nervous. But I guess everyone's emotions were running very high. I think that's all that I'm getting connected to this space. So thank you, Amado, for allowing us to, and forgive us for not going down there. But I understand that you don't want to be down there for a very long time either. So I think we'll move on. I'd love to go to the pantry area,
Yes.
if we may.
And
The male with the G name? Is there a George?
well, the owner's name now is Garvik.
Oh, okay. So he actually owns the building and you're
Long time.
you're leasing?
Yes, we lease the
So
building,
that's the
yes.
male
We
with
lease the bottom.
with the G name. But I want to ask Bruce if, to your knowledge, there's any connection going back in time to your area of expertise with male with the G name.
There's no specific G name that I can think of. Apparently, people that were in and out of here maybe have a G.
Well, no, it would be more specific than
No,
that. So it would
no,
be someone
no.
prominent. Okay, so I'm going to assume then maybe it's the landlord and the owner, if that would make sense. So, Amado, I also feel, as you do, the maternal energy in here, but I'm I'm also picking up a third female energy that's not connected to your mother-in-law or your mom, who have passed on, but there's another female energy that I feel would be more of the Civil War era. Can you confirm that, Bruce?
That's true.
Thank you.
Definitely say
I also want to ask about the name Abigail, and if that rings any bells to you, connected to this area. And we also have to bear in mind that there are properties that would have been connected to this building at one time also.
I can't think of an Abigail off the top of my head.
Abigail. I also want to ask about an Emily. Is it possible that these are the names of women who would have been in and out of this space, running errands, bringing clean cloths, for example?
Yes, definitely.
I'm smelling alcohol also.
Sure.
Connected to this space. I'm assuming that would have been used for antiseptic purposes and, frankly, to maybe inebriate anyone that needed to be operated on, or to take the edge off of the pain, if that would make sense to you.
It sure does.
Yes. So I'm smelling it connected to this space. There's a doctor who is running the show. He is the man in charge, and everyone else in his mind is subservient to him.
Okay.
So he has a very strong personality. Can you verify this for me?
Yes.
Thank you. Why do I feel as though he's not necessarily local? I feel as though he came in from outside Gettysburg. Is that a possibility, or is it possible there was another physician that was brought in from outside the town?
Definitely.
Okay, thank you. And is it possible that these two men may have been working in shifts or in tandem with one another? Because I'm picking up on someone who, there's one man who's local, and then there's another man who it feels as though he was brought in very quickly because it's an emergency. We're talking about trying to save lives. We're talking about applying tourniquets. We're talking about amputating limbs. We're talking about trying to relieve the heaviness of the pain and the despair connected to the morgue, I want to call it. So that's what I'm getting. But the fellow who is local is the one who's calling the shots, and he's running the show. He has quite a bit of ego. I'm thinking as though he may have been someone who held some sort of had some sort of social position or some sort of status in the community, because that's the impression that I'm being given connected to his ego and his personality, if that would make sense to you.
Yeah, a lot. Very much.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Who's Green with an E on the end?
Green.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's someone's last name, I believe.
I can only think of one Green, one person.
Would that be connected to this environment? Potentially? And then I'm also seeing the word, lots of color names. I'm also seeing the word white connected to this space. So I don't know if these would have been among the people in and out of this space. Everything is happening very quickly. It's frankly a little bit chaotic. So I understand a little bit more now why this doctor is being very firm, possibly a little condescending, or maybe brusque or blunt, because there needs to be order. There needs to be some order amidst the chaos. I'm actually hearing cannons go off also, and I don't know if that would have been within earshot of where we're standing.
Definitely.
It's terrifying to the children in the area and the animals. It's really freaking out the animals. I'm hearing a lot of dogs barking, and there are animals that are in enclosures that are moving as a group like a school of fish would, because they're just panicked.
Yes.
Does it make sense? Were there pigs or sheep nearby here?
Oh, sure.
Because I'm seeing them all moving and shifting together as one unit every time there's a loud explosion. in the air. I'm hearing this. There's also thunder.
Okay.
But I don't think it's cannon fire. I think there might be a storm or a developing storm that I'm hearing.
Very good.
Maybe heat lightning I'm seeing in the sky. Is this making sense?
Very much.
Okay, good. And I have to see if I'm getting anything else connected to this space. Tell me, so I was asking earlier about the general that we said was not here but through the wall. I need to ask about his horse and if there was something specific or particular about his horse to your knowledge or to your memory. So I don't know if the horse was injured. I don't know if the horse did something that was maybe particularly heroic, where it would have been recognized for its valor in some way. There's something about a horse, and this horse is massive. It's this enormous stallion or steed that I'm seeing. It might have been black. So I don't know if that's something you know anything about at this time.
I'm not familiar with a
Thank you.
specific large horse at this time.
Okay. And I would think that would be something that, if it were true, you would know something about, because the story about it, yeah. But I don't know if this particular general, there was something about his horse or a specific horse. And then it's over. And then it's almost like the silence is palpable. So there was all of this excitement and panic and explosion in a very short period of time, and then it's completely silent. Were there people temporarily buried behind
I wouldn't doubt it.
this house? What would have been this house? Because I'm seeing the word shallow. So I'm seeing some shallow graves, so they weren't intended to be permanent, because there was the understanding that the corpses would be exhumed and relocated once they were claimed by family. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, so the graves would not have been very deep, they would have been shallow.
Right.
And it feels like there were maybe not too many out behind this area. I'm seeing maybe half a dozen, if that.
I would
Is that a
believe
possibility?
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, okay. So maybe some of these names that I was picking up on are connected to the people
Right.
that may have been buried on the property also. Okay. I think that's about all I'm getting here. I feel like I overlooked something pretty obvious, however. So I tend to pick up on minutia that other people wouldn't necessarily think of, and I tend to sometimes overlook the things that are well known to a lot of historians, which is curious to me. So, Jaffa, you're indicating that there's someplace else you'd like us to go.
There's one other section in the back here that we may
Okay,
want to
let's do that
go
then.
to.
Thank you.
Okay.
So back in through here, Amanda. So I'm being shown the word nurse or nurses connected to this space. I don't know if that would make sense to you. So the Sarah that we talked about earlier, she's sort of helping out and helping to run interference and maybe running errands. But then I see that there are some women of very strong constitution who are serving specifically as nurses, who are following doctors' instructions. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Was someone's one of these gals someone's servant? Being shown the word servant, so this would be a girl who's African American. And I don't think it's connected specifically to this space, but local to this space. And she may have been one of the girls sent to run errands. So something to think about. Now I do want to ask Amato if in recent times, or since you've been here, if this area back here has been the place of some activity.
Yes.
Because I'm hearing it.
And
I'm hearing it. I'm actually hearing footsteps, like the floorboards creaking. And I don't know if you've heard that.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I need to know. Thank you. And I asked you about earlier if someone had left a faucet turned on. I'm actually hearing water running. I don't know if there's like an underground stream here, or if there would be some reason, if there's a stream nearby where I would be hearing water running.
That's very possible, because as the town developed, roads and things have changed, but there were several streams through town. And
Interesting.
Gettysburg has a very high water table, so it's very possible. Often during the battle, there was water in the basements.
Interesting. Okay. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what I'm picking up on. This is also, Amato, where I am picking up on some prankster energy. So I don't necessarily associate that with the Civil War era. To me, that feels more recent or more modern, if that would make any sense. So it feels as though this would be a space where things get kind of shuffled around. I'm actually hearing something being dragged across the floor, but then you come in and things are where they should be. So I don't know if that's happened for you or your partner, or if anyone has reported anything like
It's
that.
always with ladies or the girls that have helped us. It's always with them that they'll come in and they'll be like, how did that purse get on the floor? There's
Right.
no way that can fall.
Back here.
Very playful,
Yeah.
and napkins being thrown in the
I don't want you to share
kitchen.
too much
I'm sorry.
information, please, but just, but this
And
is...
there are 4 apartments upstairs.
Yeah.
So there also is 4 residential apartments upstairs.
Okay, all right. No, I don't feel anything malicious about it.
We've never.
Yeah, but because I'm a little bit like your mother-in-law, I'm a little OCD, I'm a little controlling, I think. And for me, it would be a nuisance. Jaffa says I'm just a little more than a little controlling. So for me, it would be an irritant. For me to come back here and things would be out of place. Oh, it's more than one female. So it's interesting because I'm hearing them whispering. I don't know what that's about. I'm curious. All right. Jaffa, was there anything more I was supposed to be picking up back here? It just... I'm hearing things like, again, being like the chair being dragged across the floor. I'm hearing the floorboards creaking like people are walking on them. Someone died here from dehydration. That can happen as a result of bleeding out. Is that correct?
It's possible.
The loss of body fluids.
Okay.
That's what I'm seeing. I don't think it's in this. Would someone who was injured have been brought to this space? Or was the space even here?
Can I answer that?
I don't think this space was here at the time.
You want me to answer
Yeah.
that? You just walk through the opening doorway in the hall. That wall is about 16, 18 inches thick. So that was the exterior wall. This, to me, This is the first thing I wrote down. This wall was this room was added on.
This was an
later.
add-on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I needed to know. So this, what would have been this? Like lawn, grass, yard? Do we know?
It could have been.
Okay.
A
the
summer
re-
kitchen.
The reason why I'm asking is I'm being shown that someone died from dehydration. It would have been then, and I feel like they bled out. They bled out. There was this massive loss of bodily fluid before anything could be done to help them. So again, something I don't know how you would even research that, but
Well, can I comment?
yes, please.
Well, think there's so much activity and chaos.
Yes.
You would have soldiers that would be running for their lives. Perhaps one of them just
Dropped.
flopped here,
Yeah, just
and
dropped.
I couldn't anymore.
Yes.
And he laid there because there was so much chaos going on in the front, and he was in the back. I would
Yeah.
assume that somebody just expired, and
But this is
that
all
was it.
speculative, of course.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
We don't have.
I don't
evidence of
have,
that.
wouldn't have a
Right.
documentation, but
Right.
what you're telling me would make sense. to
Okay.
me.
So it's a
Yeah.
possibility, but
Yeah.
we don't have evidence. of
Right,
that.
right.
All right. Okay. I think that's about all I'm getting here. Jaffa, is there any place else that you would like to show us? Okay.
No, there's a very small office, but it's tiny. And
That's all right. Well, Amado, I want to thank you so much for
My
allowing us to be
pleasure. Thank
intrusive.
you.
I know you're getting ready to open for business soon, so we'll get out of your way. But it was a great pleasure. Thank you. And
Likewise.
your mom and mother-in-law are sending love and kisses.
Oh,
and the
that's-
happy birthday.
That's made
and
by year, actually, because we always say that.
they're emphasizing that they want you to make sure that you have some things that would be more appropriate to women their age to wear. So,
We try.
For what it's worth.
I like our age was their age, I guess, before they.
well, they're not as hip as
yeah.
you were, right? They were a little more traditional. So that's what they're looking for. Just FYI, they want not for themselves, but for other women that would be coming
Sure.
in. Yeah, other women
That's
that maybe
interesting.
wouldn't wear some of the more, youthful looking things that are very vivid or colorful. So for what that's worth. But thank you again, and
Please,
thank you,
thank
Iris.
you.
Oh, of course.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.